Iran's key nuclear enrichment facilities have been completely and totally obliterated.
Congress is deeply divided over President Trump's strikes on 3 of Iran's nuclear facilities, dubbed Operation Midnight Hammer. While the majority of U.S. lawmakers are sticking to party lines, a few Democrats and Republicans are bucking the trend. In the House, GOP Congressman Thomas Massie from Kentucky has been the loudest detractor. He posted on X, "This is not constitutional," immediately after the U.S. dropped the bunker-busting bombs on June 21st. A day later, he called it an act of war and has since been making the rounds on the heated issue.
3 bombings to neutralize Iran may turn out to be the 2025 version of 2 weeks to slow the spread.
Massie has teamed up with Democratic Rep. Ro Khanna from California on a long-shot war powers resolution to prohibit U.S. involvement in Iran.
This is an unlikely pairing. You are on completely different ends of the political spectrum, but you both worked on this war powers resolution to prohibit U.S. forces from engaging in hostilities against Iran without authorization from Congress.
In retaliation, Donald Trump unleashed a Truth Social attack on Massie, calling him a grandstander, adding that MAGA should drop this pathetic loser like the plague. But Massie's not alone in the GOP. Republican Rep. Tim Berchtold from Tennessee called fellow Republicans pushing a conflict with Iran war pimps. And MAGA firebrand Majorie Taylor Greene from Georgia voiced her fears that the U.S. could be entering another senseless foreign war. MTG didn't hold back, writing on X, "I'm sick of it," and "enough is enough." Meanwhile, on Meet the Press, Republican Senator Rand Paul from Kentucky echoed her statement.
I see more war and more carnage, and it's not the U.S.'s job to be involved in this war. Iraq was a mess, Afghanistan was a mess.
While Rand Paul seems to be siding with Democrats on the issue, Democratic Senator John Federman from Pennsylvania surprised some when he applauded Trump's move. As I've long maintained, this was the correct move by POTUS. Iran is the world's leading sponsor of terrorism and cannot have nuclear capabilities. I'm grateful for and salute the finest military in the world. Fetterman's pal in the Pennsylvania governor's house, Democrat Josh Shapiro, walked a fine line on this hot-button issue. Shapiro, who was passed over as Kamala Harris's 2024 running mate, called Iran's nuclear capabilities dangerous, but also called for peace and an end to the war in Gaza.
I think what we now need to focus on is diplomacy, in not having an escalation, in not allowing this to turn into a long war in the Middle East.
While the most outspoken Dems, such as squad member Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, called for impeachment over the strikes, which would be Trump's third, a handful of House Democrats have broken with the ranks to praise the administration's decision. Maryland Rep. Steny Hoyer said the effort was essential to preventing Iran from developing a nuclear weapon. And New Jersey Rep. Josh Gottheimer, who just lost a primary bid for the Garden State's governor's race, said the world is safer because of the actions of our brave service members. Outside of Congress, MSNBC's lefty anchor Joe Scarborough also defended the hits on Iran and claimed that past presidents from either party would have made the same decision as Trump.
I find it hard to believe that Bush 41, Bush 43, Bill Clinton, Hillary Clinton, go down the list. Any presidents wouldn't have felt compelled to take that strike.
Now, as Congress's July 4th recess looms, the battle over who's in charge in the federal government heats up. Democratic Senator Tim Kaine from Virginia has also proposed a war powers resolution to require a prompt debate and vote prior to using any U.S. military force against Iran. The War Powers Clause of the U.S. Constitution already gives Congress the sole power to declare a formal war and establishes the president's role as commander-in-chief. However, that certainly hasn't stopped so-called conflicts or undeclared wars, such as the Vietnam War, from ensnaring the United States for decades.